Good afternoon everybody, how are you all? Today I'm gonna bring you cassava with beans and fried fish with tomato sauce. So let's get started. So these are my ingredients for the fried fish. I have my onions here for the beans, black eye beans, tomato paste 100 grams, crushed tomato. With my fish, I have two different types of fish here. I have mackerel and I have another one that is called komel in Swedish. My garlic, salt, black pepper, alcreda and grounded habanero. Get started. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pick the beans, pick out all the bad ones, that everything is clean, and then I wash it and soak it for like 30 minutes or 1 hour before I start to cook them. So by the time I'm doing that, I'll start to fry my fish, so I won't waste much of time because it takes a long time for you to get the consistency you want. As you can see, the beans, these ones especially, let me show you. You don't have to just cook it like that, you have to pick the bad ones. The ones that have holes, it's like these ones. They are not good at all. Like for example this one, as you can see there is a hole in it, so sometimes there are weevils inside. Put it in the water like 1 hour before you start to cook it. Add salt last, otherwise it will spoil all your beans. That's the beans. As you can see, put it in. Not now. By the time I'm waiting for the oil to get hot, let me start to peel my onions for my gravy. And when preparing gravy, you can make as lot as you can. Better you do in good quantity so that you can save some of it into your freezer. So legi suma bokay lima len indil tay moy ñande ñebe ak fry. Moom laa leen a indi tey ak so léegi jën bi ma jënda mooy dama jënda ko jën bi ñu ooyee kumel fii nii ba pare ma jënda mackerel ma jaxase ko. Léegi maa fi am suma ñaam bi, liñoŋ, laaj, tamaate loxati ak tamaate doom. Ba pare suma seasoning yi maa fee def mooy alcreda, poobar ak kaani bu tooy. Léegi ñebe bi balaa ngeen baxal ko ngeen ko war a tànna, ngeen gis ne génne ngeen yu bon yi, xooj ko soo leen buggee like 30 to 1 hour. Bim hawa ke jëf tuuti before ngeen door mu toog ko mu gaaw a ñor. Bu leen si yokk xorom, da ngeen a xaar bi ñebe bi pare bi ngeen xam ne fi nekk nii ngeen buggee seen ñebe bi ngeen door a def xorom, because xorom dafa gaaw a saf trop si ñebe te su xorom bi ëppee rek moom dafa yaasa tooga bi yëpp. So you can get it wherever you want in your grocery store or your supermarket. When the oil is hot, I'm going to reduce the heat to 4 and then sprinkle just a little bit of salt before I start to fry the fish so it won't stick on the frying pan, because when seasoning the fish with lemon or lime and salt, so it's so easy for it to stick on the bottom of it. Start to peel my cassava. Sometimes you're unlucky if you buy the cassava, it's like brown inside, but this one is good. It's really good. Now this is how I peel the cassava. Just put the knife into and then lift it up all the way around. And that's it. So easy and simple. You can use any fish to your satisfaction. For me, I like to use this one because it tastes so good. Water into the beans. Gradually you add water into the beans. This is cooking too on the other pot. I've already chopped my onions and then I will blend them. adding more water into the beans. Maggi yokal ndox si ñebe because ñebe bi ñoragut. Dafa wara ñor bem tas. So the fish is now done. As you can see, we're gonna put it aside and wait for the cassava, the beans, and the sauce, and then we'll serve it. Now, fi mu nekk nii Maggi ñu defal gravy bi. So léegi Maggi ñebe bi tamit mu ngi baax pare bu de mu na tey jël time waaye xam naa léegi tey. Léegi maa ngi blend sama liñoŋ na I'm gonna blend my onion, tomato, and then the oil that I use to fry the fish, that is the oil that I'm going to use to make the gravy. That's my onions here together with the garlic and the tomato, the crushed tomato. Now I'm going to add it into the oil. Léegi maa ngi defar suma gravy bi def naa liñoŋ bi si biir si diwlin bi. Diwlin bi ma jël pour fry jën bi moom laay fry gravy bi. So now you're going to caramelize the gravy, onions, by adding water bit by bit, bit by bit. So the onions have to be cooked very fast. The gravy can be done in different ways. You can do it with palm oil, you can do it with oil, you can do it without tomato paste too. And when you're doing with the palm oil, you can do the same, you can use the same procedure. Fry the gravy with the palm oil and then see that you add in water every 5 until it gets brown. And then you can add in your black pepper or your salt or any kind of seasoning you want to add into it. But for me, today I'm going to do one with tomato paste, so it's going to be red tomato sauce for the cassava and the beans. And I can even serve it with rice too. You have to cook the beans until you see that it's cooked, well cooked, and starts to scatter. Then you can taste it and see whether you want it to scatter, but the water has to evaporate. All the water has to disappear. And then you get the consistent to how you want it. Then you can add salt at the end, but no salt at the moment. Léegi sauce yi ñambi ñëw bi nag it's up to ni la neexee. Soo buggee mën nga koo def ak diwtiir, soo buggee mën nga koo def ak tamaate, soo buggee mën nga koo def without tamaate. So yaay seet ban nga bëgg rek nga defee ko noonu. Waaye man comme que dama koo saaf ak maalo, so moo tax may def sauce bu am tamaate nga xam ne ko mën a lekk ak maalo tamit. Waaye li ñoom yi moom foog nga gis ne ñor na bu baax, dafa war a bàyyi ba mu brown, buy brown ngay yokkal ndox, buy brown ngay yokkal ndox ba nga gis ne ñor na bu baax a baax. Nga door a def sa yi nga bëgg a def poobar ak kaani bu nooka oo kaani bu tooy, yow yaay seet foofu la neexee tamit nga tumbal kaani bu jeex pour mu saf. It's up to you. If you want it spicy, you can make it spicy to your satisfaction. So I'm going to add in my tomato paste. Maybe I yokka suma tomato lohati. So now I'm going to add in my grounded habanero. See, you can spice it up to how you want it. Legi dama si yokka suma kaani bu nooka. So then we mix safal ko bem saf ak kaani. Mu gën a neex nag waaye man nag dama ragal kaani. Legi teg ko pare leen. The beans is soon finished. Just leaving it to get thick to how I want it. That's the gravy cooking, and that's the beans too. Let me just show you how it looks. There is still water, so I have to wait until the water disappears or get dry, and then you can add in your salt. So the beans is almost ready, so I'm going to add salt now to my taste. Be very careful with salt because salt in beans, pinch, just add a pinch and then taste it. If it's not enough, you can add more. Léegi ñebe bi léegi tey bu pare so maa ngi yokk xorom waaye xorom bi nag ngeen moytu bu baax a baax def leen tuuti rek ngeen mos su safutee ngeen yokkaat tuuti because xorom dafa gaaw a saf trop si ñebe te su ëppee rek moom mu yaaxal ñebe bi yëpp. Now I'm going to add my seasonings into my gravy. I'm going to add in Al-Qaeda first. 1 teaspoon. And then 1 teaspoon black pepper. After stirring it properly, then you can taste it and see whether your seasoning is enough. If it's not enough, then you can add more to your satisfaction. Léegi def naa Al-Qaeda benn kuddu bu ndaw ba pare ma def poobar tamit benn kuddu bu ndaw ba pare ma yëgal ko bu baax ba pare mos ko su fekkee ne safut mun ngaa yokkaat. The gravy will soon be done. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm just going to leave it to caramelize until I don't see any more water. It's just the oil on top, then you know that it's ready. So now I'm going to boil my cassava. This particular menu was very, very popular when I was going to school, both primary school and junior secondary. It was very popular. It's like whenever we have a break, lunch break, that's what I normally bought because it was one of my favorite. So if you don't hurry, sometimes when you get there everything is finished. So if that's what I wanted to eat, then I would not eat anything during my lunch break. So the woman who was selling it was like I was one of her customers. So what she does is she put mine aside, and then when I come I just give her the money and then take my plate also and then go and eat my lunch. Because it's always a long queue, so you have to follow the queue. When it's your turn, then everything is finished, or maybe the cassava and the beans is finished, just the fish left. And the fish that they normally used with it was like bonga fish called kobo. Mambi school, this particular nyambe nyebe bi mom dafa popular one torop back school bi ma dem primary school or bi ma dem secondary school. It dafa popular one torop Gambia. So xam na ñu bari xam nañ ko during break time, so gaawutee daal di nga leen fekk ñambe ñebe jeex, so da nga war a teel a dem. Waaye man daal ki daan jaay ñambe ñebe foofu man clientam laa woon, so dama ko daan wax ne mu dencal ma su ko defee man su ma ñëwee rek fekk man suma plate bi pare na mu ngi saayit ma jox ko suma xaalis ak jël suma plate bi rek dem ma dem lekk toog lekka. waaye yéen dangaa taxaw si queue bi ñëw ba fi nga war a jëndee yow fekk xëy na ñambi jeex na ñebe rek a des, wala ñebe jeex na ñambi rek a des, oo bi ñeneen fry fish rek nga fa dee fekk o fry bi jeex na bu yàgga, su doolee am exactly yëpp li nga bugga. So li dee gën mooy daal nga teel a dem pour nga mun a am yëpp. Yeneen ñu def sauce diwlin, yeneen ñu def sauce diwtiir. So it was really popular back home actually. So I don't know whether it's still continuing down there back home, but because the beans is really healthy. So tell them mom, nyambe nyebe la mom. Today is beans and cassava. Just subscribe, follow the instruction, hit the bell and make your nyambe nyebe for yourself. So now the water is boiling, as you can see. Léegi ndox bi baax na damay njëkk a yokk xorom. I'm going to add in salt first. So léegi maa ngi dugal suma ñambi yi. I'm now going to add my cassava into the pot. then cover it again. Some cassava cooks very fast, so I'm going to time it for 5 minutes. If it's not properly cooked, then I will leave it for another few minutes. I'm going to so dama tëj suma sujeer bi ba pare ma bàyyi ko mu baax pour 5 minutes. Su fekkee ne ñorut mun naa ko bàyyi mu yokka mu gën a baax pour few minutes more. The bait is now finished to how I want it. Now the beans is done, I'm going to dish it out. This is how I want my beans to be. I don't want it to be very thick, because when it gets cold, it gets more thicker. So now my gravy is done too. I'm gonna dish it out. This is very delicious. Mom, neex la def ñambi ñebe ak fry. Try them for it ngeen mo waxaat. You just try it and you will comment down below and tell me how it tastes so good. As you can see, there's not too much of oil, just a little bit of oil. So now everything is ready. I'm gonna serve it now. My cassava and beans with gravy is now done. I'm going to serve. So let me show you how I'm going to decorate my plate. This is rice. I have my rice here, and then let's just turn it upside down. Okay. Slice it to small pieces or small bits, or if you want, you can leave it whole if you feel like. And then I take a slice of fish. I have my beans here on the side. My gravy here, I'm going to put the gravy just a little bit on the side. So, you're all welcome to my nyambi nyebe and my cassava and beans. You're welcome. So that's it. Invite na leen yépp ci nyambi nyebe ak fry bi tay. Set nga li rek rafetul rek. Appetizing.
Bye. See you next week.
You're all invited.